Hey guys, I am Daisho, and I am here bringing you another draft, and you guys pretty much know the drill here, but if you're new to it, then it's basically just me playing with some friends. We each open a pack, and then you take one card out of it, pass it to the left, and then you do that 3 more times, and you basically end up with about 42 cards, and then you can make a deck out of that. You just get to take whatever lands you want. And then you basically make a deck. So anyway, there was a couple of cards in this first pack that seemed kind of interesting. There was the Dross Mindcrusher and the Tragic Slip that really caught my eyes. I mean, there was also Ulvenwald Bears, and I think that really might be even it for any possible first pick. Or Elgod Inquisitor is pretty good, but not really a first pickable card. Definitely not over Tragic Slip. I end up going with the Mindcrusher here. Not 100% sure if that was a great pick. I don't really like him too much. I mean, he's good in the mill yourself deck if you want to basically get a lot of cards into your graveyard, in which, like, if you have flashback or if you have something that you need to sacrifice a card when it comes into play or something like that. So then he's pretty good, but otherwise he's really just a big clunky 6-drop that doesn't really win you the game. So I don't know. I don't think I would pick him. I would first pick him again. But then in this pack, there's two different cards, and like the reason why I go for the one I do is because of the archetype that I want to go into. So it's not just playing these drafts is not just about saying, okay, I will just pick the best card every time, or I will just pick the best card in my colors every time. You really need to pick cards that are good for your colors, and also for your archetype. So I could have gone either way. I could have gone blue-black zombies, mill yourself kind of thing, but I usually don't do that. I'm not usually too good at drafting that kind of thing, and it's a lot harder to draft than the archetype that I do go for, which is blue-white flyers. So I end up taking the Hollow Henge Spirit here, which is a 2/2 flyer first strike, and when it enters the battlefield, you can remove a card from combat. So it's not great, but it is a pretty good card, and it's amazing, and it's one of the best, not one of the best, but it's a good card to have in the archetype. I also could have gone for Descaress, which is 3 and 2 black, and it says destroy target creature, you gain life equal to that creature's toughness if it was a human. So it's pretty good if you're running a black deck, and it's really just amazing. But another consideration that I had was that I just had passed a Tragic Slip, so chances are if my person to my left took a black card first, then they will definitely be in black. And now that I pass them the Descaress, they will for sure be in black, and then hopefully I don't have to worry about them taking my cards. Anyway, I'm pretty much really rewarded for the cards that I took. I ended up getting past a Drogskull Captain, and I pick him up right away. I think the person who opened him was also opened Huntmaster, so we obviously took the Huntmaster. And then the person to my right, I think he ended up taking a Farbog Boneflinger over him. So, or no, maybe that was his first pick. Yeah, I think that was his first pick. He picked Farbog Boneflinger over Descaress. I'm not really sure what he picked here. But anyway, I'm really upset about the pick that I took here, because I thought that Chant of the Skiff Saying was a really, really good card. It turns out it's just a decent card. And like when I played it, I thought it was just amazing. I mean, before I played it, I thought it was amazing because it was like, oh my god, it just gets rid of a creature. But the creature's still there. It can still block and stuff. If it has toughness, then it's still annoying to have on the battlefield. I definitely should have gone for the Stormbound Geist, especially since there's going to be another Stormbound Geist in. Or maybe there was in that last pack that we just saw. Sorry, I missed it. But I had to take the Burden of Guilt. I would take Burden of Guilt any day. Burden of Guilt is amazing. But basically what happened is, since I passed those two Stormbound Geists right back to back, the person to my left ended up going blue-black. And the person to my right was also blue-black, but he was a little bit different archetype. But like, look at this. There's like 12 blue cards in this pack, although they're all pretty terrible. So anyway, the person to my right took a Chosen Markov here, so you know he's in black. You're allowed to see the flip cards. That's one thing that's pretty cool about these drafts, is that the flip cards are actual knowledge that everyone's allowed to have. I took the Shriek Geist here. It's not great, but it is a spirit, so I definitely take the Niblis of the Breath here. Not Niblis of the Breath, Niblis of the Mist here. It's probably the worst Niblis. It's a 3-cost 2/1 flyer. When it enters battlefield, tap a dude. The other ones can tap more consistently, so that's pretty cool. But anyway, this is the pack that got second, and the increasing ambition is still there. I think the person to my left must take it. It's not such a great card. It lets you tutor for a card, and then if you flash it back for 8, then you get to look for 2 cards. So by the time you get 8, then it's amazing. But I don't know. I took a Bone Tash or something like that. Random counter spell. Who even uses counter spells, right, guys? Anyway, open up the new pack. I don't remember if it was this pack or maybe even in all of them where I just skipped the last couple of picks because I don't get anything significant, so it's not worth your time, my time, nobody's time. But anyway, this pack is just really, really, really bad for me. The only blue card that's even worth thinking about is Fortress Grab, and like there are no white cards in this pack. Memory's Journey. I think there's one white card that's just bad. Like I don't even know. Urgent Exorcism, I think, is the white card. So it's a little bit ridiculous how bad this pack is for me. And it's kind of ironic because my first 2 picks in this pack really aren't. I took a Fortress Grab. I don't even think I ran it. That's how bad it was. I probably should have just like taken the best card out of the pack. But anyway, and then this pack is a little better. I mean, it's got a Thraben Sentry and a Doom Traveler, neither of which I would really love to pick as my second, and an Elder Cathar also, but both of which I'm not upset about taking second. So I think I end up taking the Doom Traveler here. And what's kind of ironic is that my first 2 picks, Fortress Grab and Doom Traveler, were pretty much worse than my next 4 or 5. He was just looking at the flip card in my pack because basically he was like cleaning up after the pack, whatever. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So it's really between Thraben Sentry and Doom Traveler. I kind of hope that the Thraben Sentry would make it all the way back to me, but it's very unlikely that a card that good is going to make it all the way back. But anyway, it takes me a while, but I finally decide on the Doom Traveler. Doom Traveler's pretty good, and he's a 1-drop, which is really fun. It's hard to come by 1-drops usually in these kind of drafts and stuff. But anyway, this pack is just like, oh my god, I have a Fiend Hunter. I just took it as quickly as possible to try to pretend that it wasn't a lie or whatever. There was still a Brimstone Volley in that pack. Anyway, my next pick is Feeling of Dread, which is just pretty much behind Silent Departure the best card for this archetype. It's basically one of the best tempo cards in the format because I can stop them from blocking me and from attacking for 2 turns in a row. And then this pack was meh. There was Moment of Heroism and Smite the Monstrous. There's also, it looks like a Shimmering Grotto, so could have gone with that, or Scab Goliath. I really didn't want Scab Goliath. If you don't have the whole mill yourself kind of element, then Scab Goliath is pretty bad because it's not even likely that you'll have 2 dudes in the graveyard. But anyway, I'm trying to figure out which one I should take, Moment of Heroism or Smite the Monstrous. I remember seeing 2 Skillful Lunges late in the last one, and I was making sure I didn't take both of them because Moment of Heroism and Skillful Lunge, pretty similar cards. I like Moment a little bit better, but they have very similar adaptations. And then in this pack, I end up taking a Galvanic Juggernaut, which doesn't really fit my archetype at all, but it's a gigantic dude for 4 mana. It's really, really cool. It doesn't untap during your untap step, but usually what happens is you attack with it, and then you win. But, oh my god, this pack was just, like, stacked for me. There's a Sturmgeist in this pack, and a Feeling of Dread, and a Stitch Drake, too. I really, really, really wanted to take the Feeling of Dread here, but I ended up going with the Sturmgeist. I think the Sturmgeist is... it's one of the best cards for being that late. I don't know, like six cards into the pack already. Take a Deranged Assistant here. 6 cards into the pack already is just like crazy late for a Sturmgeist. It's usually one of the top 2 or 3, and then it's just like, oh well, I guess my luck finally ran out. There's nothing in this pack, and I think I end up hating the Boneyard Wurm, which is kind of ironic because even though my neighbor was blue-black, he was blue-black mill himself, and then he splashed green for a couple of spider spawning. So I don't know, maybe he would have even liked to use that Boneyard Wurm. I'm not sure. Anyway, this is, I believe, no, I think this is the second pack I saw. Anyway, I took a Lost in the Mist. There's nothing really all that good in here. And, like, you're just getting to the point in the pack where you're not really going to find anything good. And then it's just like Harvest Pyre, who cares? Blah, blah, blah. Spend some time waiting. And there's just, like, nothing left at this point. Spectral Flight, I think. Is that really a Spectral Flight this late? That's kind of funny. I could have taken Curiosity. Curiosity isn't a terrible card. In general, I don't like drawing auras, but in draft, it's usually not such a big deal because only a couple of people have Silent Departure, and It's not terrible to run it. But anyway, there's a couple of really good cards in this pack. I opened an Elder of Laurels, which is just absolutely amazing, and then I think it goes like 3 people to my left. I finally get it, but I'm actually a little bit disappointed with my pick here. I end up going with the Gallows Warden, but I think the Voiceless Spirit would have been better. Gallows Warden is okay, but it only has 3 power and it's 2 more mana. Plus, it doesn't even have First Strike. It is a 3/3 and it helps my other dudes a little bit. But to make my regular spirits 1/2s isn't great. I don't know. It's not the best pick ever, but I'm just trying to. I think I'm counting my 5 drops, but I was really hoping for a Voiceless Spirit or 2, and I just stick it in the middle of the pack and hope that nobody finds it, and then maybe it'll come back to me. But it doesn't seem likely. There's also Claustrophobia in this pack, but the pick apparently it was Gallows Warden. Probably should have taken the Voiceless Spirit. I think it would have been a lot happier. Anyway, there's a Slayer of the Wicked in this pack, so that has to be taken. I like Voiceless Spirit and stuff, and there's also a Charmbreaker Devils. Man, that's a good card. And as you guys will see in round 1, that's a pretty decent card. Anyway, Slayer of the Wicked is my pick. I could not take the Voiceless Spirit, so that's 2 Voiceless Spirits that I missed. There's a Prey Upon in this pack, and guess what? Voiceless Spirit number 3. Luckily, there is not much in here that I need to take over it, so I think I do end up going with, pick up the Voiceless Spirit. I really wish I had another one of those. That would have been amazing, but I don't think any of them come back to me, unfortunately. Take a Battleground Geist here, so that was kind of hap. I wasn't expecting to get any of these. Especially, I mean, it's not that late in the pack for a 3/3 flyer for 5, but it's not early either. So anyway, there's a few cards in this pack that I kind of wanted. I like Inquisitor's File. It's one of my favorite cards. It's not, good. It just sometimes wins you the game, but Sensory Deprivation is definitely the pick there. It's like a mini chant of Gift Saying, but I don't know. Either way, there's not really much for me in this pack. I probably should have just taken the Falconwrath Marauders, because that card is so good. If somebody's running a red card, I end up taking the Stitcher's Apprentice. I don't even know if I run it. I probably do. It's not a bad card, Stitcher's Apprentice. It's kind of interesting, and it's kind of adaptable to different situations, but and then I get past a Silent Departure at this point, and I don't even know what to say. I'm just I'm taking this Silent Departure and I'm running, because I was really upset that I hadn't seen one yet, and then I finally got one and I was like, oh my god, I just won. Silverchase Fox is awesome. I love him. He's a 2/2 for 2 and he has adaptable situations, so he's just the best card ever. And then I saw a Voiceless Spirit and a Claustrophobia make it all the way back to me. And now is basically the time where I explain to you how messed up this draft was. So basically, the person to my right, me, and the person to my left were playing blue. Nobody else in the entire draft was playing blue. Us 3 were the only ones, and we were all right next to each other. So we were basically just hating all each other for the blue. And I guess I got the worst of it, because I got cut every single pack. I got cut from blue. So anyway, I take the Claustrophobia because that's amazing, and I'm crazy surprised that it made it all the way back to me. I just checked to make sure I don't already have a Smite the Monstrous when I go for this one. But anyway, the Voiceless Spirit, I didn't end up taking it. I don't know. I think the Claustrophobia was the right pick over it. Not sure if the Gallows Warden was, though. Anyway, then also on the other side of the table, there was, I think, 3 people in a row playing red, and it was just a little bit ridiculous. Anyway, this was a pretty decent draft, and I was definitely happy with the deck that I picked. I really wish I had a couple of more spirits, or flying attackers, or if I had a Midnight Haunting or a Lingering Souls, I would have been a lot happier. Pick up another Lost in the Mist. So that makes my 3rd counter. And anyway, that's pretty much it. Hope you guys enjoyed this draft. Have a nice day. Bye.